to meet the men from the Ministry. Join us now for another canter down the corridors of power with Norma Ronald, Ronald Baddiley, John Graham, Hilary Pritchard, and the men from the Ministry, Richard Murdoch and Deryck Guyler. The Ministry men know that planning is the key to success. Every job must conform to its blueprint and nothing can be left to chance. In the General Assistance Department, dedicated men are even now tackling problems of economic growth.
Is that the maximum possible, too?
Yes, one. We followed the instructions exactly.
Good. Then perhaps we can let the matter rest.
Right.
Do you know, I'll bet we're the only department in Whitehall growing mushrooms in the office.
Let's keep it that way, one. We don't want to flood the markets.
Quite. Here, I say, I suppose they'll be all right in there.
I don't see why not. The advert said somewhere damp and dark where they won't be disturbed. The filing cabinet seems the ideal place.
Well, with civil service salaries the way they are, one needs the extra income.
Yes, I hear old Rudge at the Board of Trade took up making horsehair sofas.
Was it a success?
Apparently not. He couldn't get the horses.
Only me with a lovely cup of tea.
Ah, the cup of cheers. Thank you, Mildred. Yes.
Now, did you deal with them problems for the Ministry of Transport, sir?
Were there some problems with the Ministry of Transport?
Oh, you remember? There's a complaint from the Motorists League. They say they don't like all them holes in the roads.
Ah, yes. Tell them to point out the ones they don't like and we'll get them filled in.
And what about that memo from the Minister about petrol fumes?
Now, we did deal with that.
He demanded drastic action.
He got it, Mildred.
Yes, we tore up the memo.
So things are quiet at the moment. We haven't heard from the Permanent Under-Secretary for several days.
Well, I think Sir Gregory's been away, sir.
Splendid. Let's hope the old monster forgets to come back. Let us run. Sir Gregory, how nice to see you, sir. I hope you're well. And Lady Pitkin, how are the roses?
Were you talking about me just now?
Good Lord, no, sir. No, I wouldn't do that. Would I do?
No, Sir Gregory, no. He was talking about another old monster.
Another minister, he means. Yes, the monster of transport.
Be quiet, both of you. Well, as you're so interested in the Minister of Transport, you'll be glad to hear he's got another job for you.
Oh, yes, thank you, Sir Gregory.
Yes, there's a problem with the River Crum in Hampshire. They want you to step in.
Oh, dear.
Well, there's no road link across the river, and the government's decided there should be. The experts are undecided whether to build a bridge or a tunnel.
Well, that's no problem to us, sir, with our years of experience. Oh, no. No, we'll give them the answer in no time. Do you have a coin I might borrow, sir?
A coin, Lennox Bond?
Yeah, we usually spit a coin for that sort of thing. Only last week we tossed up and decided to build that new road round the House of Commons and not through it.
Well, this road link is an important matter. The whole project will be a prototype for linking Britain and France across the Channel.
Oh, you mean what the Crum does today, Calais does tomorrow?
Exactly. The eyes of every engineer in Europe will be upon you.
But, Sir Gregory, if this job is important, why have you given it to us?
A good question. Normally I'd be dealing with it, but at the moment I'm doing some research further down the river. My new motor yacht is moored there, as a matter of fact.
Oh, yes, we thought we hadn't seen much of you lately, sir.
Well, I go down whenever I can. It's quiet there, and I need to find a little peace.
I thought you took one with you.
What?
He said, do you take anyone with you, sir? You see, to assist you with your research.
Well, there are clerical duties, of course. I sometimes take Miss Bentwater from the typing pool. She's fast and efficient.
So I've heard.
Well, this road link is to be a crumpet. Now, I want you both to get down there tomorrow.
Certainly.
Have a look at the site, sound out the locals and so on.
Very good, sir, certainly, yes.
See what sort of thing they prefer. At the moment, they have to make do with an old broken-down ferry, run by an old broken-down ferryman.
Morning, sir. Was you wanting to come on the ferry?
At 5p a time? Ah, look at that landing stage on the other side. It's rotten.
Ah, I'm going to get rid of that old landing stage today. Young Harry's made me a new one.
Who's this coming across the meadow?
Ain't seen them two afore.
What? Where?
Well, them two fellas we bowler hats and brolly.
Oh, yeah. They look a bit scared of Farmer Brown's cow.
And she's a bit scared of they, I shouldn't wonder.
Dad, when we're away from here, Ron, you sure that bull is harmless?
Well, of course, Stu, of course. I know a lot about these things, you know. Oh, yes. I worked for the Ministry of Agriculture, remember? Bulls of that kind are reared mainly for their wool.
Oh. There's the old boy with his boat. Looks pretty primitive, I must say. All cracked and worn and leaking.
Yes, and the boat's not much better.
Don't think I didn't hear that, because I did hear that. I don't take lip from strangers.
Well, no offence intended, my dear chap. You're the ferryman, I take it, are you?
That's me, Fred Grapple, veteran of 2 world wars.
Oh.
50 years I've been doing this job,
Really?
and that's my house with a lawn running down to the river.
I see. You've a ferry at the bottom of your garden.
Two, please.
Was you wanting to come across, then?
Yes. We have to inspect the other side.
Well, come on, step aboard, and let's see the colour of your money.
Yes, all right.
I ain't got all day.
Wait a minute, give me a hand.
Oh, I hope I'm not going to be seasick on this. I say, this landing stage doesn't look very safe.
Just you wait till you see the other side. Still, it adds a bit of excitement, I reckon. Off we go.
We're here to arrange a new link across the river.
Oh, what's that?
So this old boat will become redundant.
And so will you, Mr. Grapple. Oh, yes. But, of course, I mean there'll be compensation.
Compensation?
Yes, as you've been at it for 50 years, it could be as much as 8 pence per week.
Is that so?
Oh, you'll be able to put your feet up and watch television.
Or you might get a job at that nice new sewage farm.
Just think, Mr. Grapple. A splendid new road link with the heavy lorries thundering through night and day.
We'll be getting things started quite soon.
Well, gentlemen, here we are at the other side. If you'd just like to step onto the landing stage.
Right, thank you very much, Mr. Grapple. Just a minute now, wait a minute, take it easy.
So, you two are going to close down my ferry, are you?
That's right. We want to get moving as quickly as possible.
Well, I think I can help you there. Goodbye, gents. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mr. Two. Wait, this landing stage is moving. It's broken loose.
No, it hasn't. He cut it loose.
That's right. I got rid of 2 lots of rubbish at the same time.
You can't do this, Mr. Grapple. We're floating away downstream.
Enjoy your trip, you pinstripe pest.
Oh, but Mr. Grapple, we're adrift and helpless.
Yeah, I bet it ain't the first time.
This is ever such a lovely yacht, Sir Gregory. I bet you're pleased with it.
Yes, my dear, I certainly am. And needn't call me Sir Gregory now. We're quite alone on this stretch of the river.
All right. By me. Fancy, all the other girls will be busy in the typing pool, and here we are sunning ourselves. It's a lovely comfy airbed.
There aren't many of these double ones about. Oh, what bliss to be away from Whitehall and those idiots in my department.
It's as if the civil service didn't exist.
Let me pour you another innocent double brandy, my dear. And then we can go down to the cabin for a bit.
Oh. That's funny, Bunny.
Not at all, my dear. It's nature's way.
No. I mean, there's a raft floating towards us with 2 men on it.
Oh, well, never mind that, Daphne. The locals are very keen on water sports. And talking about sports, what about...
They don't look like locals, Bunny.
Right.
Look, they're wearing bowler hats. And one of them's hitting the other over his head with his umbrella.
Now, gently, my dear. Perhaps you shouldn't have had that 4th brandy. And the sun is rather hot. Good Lord! There are 2 men on a raft. By thunder, I know those voices. Am I having a horrible dream? Lamb and Lennox Brown!
Are they friends of yours, Bunny?
Friends? They're 2 of the ghastliest nitwits you'd ever hope not to meet. Keep down, Daphne. They may drift past without seeing us.
But there's a dangerous weir down there. They could be drowned.
Never mind, my dear. The ministry is overstaffed.
They're going to crash into us.
What? My brand new yacht?
Keep away, you fools!
Beginning to hit us!
It hit us! Good gracious, it's Sir Gregory. I didn't recognize you, sir, in your Bermuda shorts.
Hello, Sir Gregory. I hope you're well. And Lady Pitkin, how are the roses? Now, don't mind us, Sir Gregory. We'll just sit here on the deck till our clothes dry out. I've hung them on the mast.
Yes, you and Miss Bentwater can carry on as if we weren't here.
I realise, of course, you can't do all you were planning to do, sir. Now we've damaged your propeller. You're engaged on some research, sir, aren't you?
Miss Bentwater was going to take things down for you.
Yes, that was the plan. But as your blasted raft fractured the propeller and severed the mooring, I'm not in the mood to concentrate.
I did try to mend the propeller, Sir Gregory.
Tying your braces round it did not help one little bit. So we just sit here and drift helplessly back to the boatyard.
What about a little game to pass the time?
Good idea. We could play I Spy.
I don't play games, Lennox Barnes.
Oh, Bunny, that's not what you said this morning.
Very well, Lennox Barnes. I spy with my little eye something beginning with H.
H, don't tell me. Hook, Sir Gregory?
No.
Hatch, Sir Gregory?
No.
Give it up. What do you spy, Sir Gregory?
Hammer.
I don't see a hammer, sir.
Not on deck, perhaps, but I'm going below to fetch one.
How kind.
With which to beat your brains in!
Order! Thank you. Well, I says to you, fellow citizens of Crumford, if they're going to get rid of our ferry, we're going to get rid of them. Yeah. We won't have them jumped-up townies meddling with our amenities.
Yeah. Well said, Fred. We don't want a road link, and if they try and force one on us, we'll fight them. We'll bash them. We'll hit them where it hurts most. We'll cut them up into little pieces.
Thank you, Vicar. I now call upon the chairman, our respected postmistress, Miss Amelia Fitt.
I urge you, comrades and fellow workers, to resist the greed of the capitalist classes. I say to you, brothers, throw off your chains and flush them out.
This scheme is a threat to my parishioners' morals. A road link would bring the flesh pots of the city within easy reach of our young people.
Yeah, it would.
Flesh pots, Vicar? Where? The Snedfield Bingo Hall, for a start.
I move that we launch a campaign of civil disobedience. Mass sit-downs on the roads. You can organise that, Mr. Winterbottom.
Oh, thank you.
Posters on every pillar box, banners everywhere. I'm not going to let any civil servant get on top of me.
Quite right, Miss Fitt. And we'll write to them interfering busybodies at the ministry and tell them there's worse to come for them and their bosses.
So you didn't get on too well at Crumford, sir?
Well, you could say that, Mildred. That old ferryman does not want a new road link. But Sir Gregory wants a new yacht.
He was quite cross with us, Mildred. Nearly made me walk the plank.
But then he had second thoughts?
No, he couldn't find the plank.
Then he turned very nasty. We'd taken our suits off to dry, and he wouldn't let us have them.
We had to walk back to London in our underwear.
Oh, how embarrassing.
Luckily, we were able to keep some dignity. We still had our bowler hats on.
Well, these Crumford people are pretty cross and all. Have you seen this morning's paper?
No, I haven't. Pass it over, will you, Mother? Thank you. Oh, good grief. Here, look at these headlines, too.
Yeah, oh dear. Villagers reject road link plan. Ferryman prepares to stick it out.
And what about the photograph?
What? Glory. Last night, villagers burnt effigies of ministry officials.
I say those effigies look rather like us, don't they?
It says they carved the heads out of old turnips.
Right. Sure. How?
Seems like they're offing mad. Oh, and this letter arrived first post. It's for you, sir.
Oh, thank you, Mildred. Let's have a look at that then. Let's say, you will never defeat the Save Crumford League. Hands off our ferry, leave us alone, or we could turn ugly.
That wouldn't be difficult.
We know there are others at the top more important than you.
What a cheek.
And they will suffer too. So keep your rotten noses out of our business, or you won't live to collect your pensions. Signed, a well-wisher.
They don't want the road link, do they?
It strikes me you better lay off, sir. Treat this problem like all the others. File it behind the radiator.
Certainly not, Mildred. I don't intend to be browbeaten by a bunch of unpleasant peasants.
Perhaps we should tell Sir Gregory.
Oh, I shouldn't go near him at the moment, sir.
Oh?
He's shut himself in his office trying to work out the cost of his yacht repairs.
Oh, dear.
And Daphne Bentwater's given him a rough time.
Is that you, Daphne, my little lotus blossom? Bunny here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, now, look, my dear, I know our boating trip wasn't a great success, but it wasn't my fault, and I want to make it up to you.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I realize it's only Wednesday morning, my poppet, but we don't want to waste time in a stuffy old ministry office when we could be, we could be out in the country. A nice long weekend.
I'm not coming out in your rotten boat again.
Oh, my little sweetie pie's not angry, is she? I didn't mean a boating weekend. I've got a small place quite near where we were before, Lemon Tree Cottage. No one can ram us there. No one even knows it exists.
But I don't like Lemon Tree Cottage. Last time we went there, you wanted me to do everything.
What's that? Oh, yes. Yes, you were there before.
And I had to clean the place, do the cooking, draw the water from the well.
Well, this time things will be different, my dear. I know an agency who provide home helps in any part of the country. They'll send someone to cook and clean and then leave us alone.
Promise?
Cross my OB. All you'll have to do is relax and drink champagne and look beautiful.
All right. I'll come.
Splendid. Now, if I spend 5 minutes on this river problem down there, I can call this a business trip, which means we can go today. Usual arrangements for meeting, my dear. Bye-bye. Now, what's the name of that agency? Ah, yes, Rent-A-Mop.
General Assistance Department, Mildred Muffin, to whom you are speaking with.
Rent-A-Mop Domestic Agency here.
Oh, yes.
That isn't Sir Gregory Pitkin, is it?
Use your blooming loaf. Do I sound like Sir Gregory Pitkin?
Sometimes difficult to tell these days. I've an urgent message for Sir Gregory, and your switchboard put me through to you.
He's away today, and I'm taking messages.
Well, he asked Rent-A-Mop to find a home help for his country retreat, Lemon Tree Cottage, Bluebell Wood, Hampshire.
Oh.
We weren't sure yesterday if we could oblige, but we've managed to find someone.
Well, I don't know anything about this, but I'll make a note in case he rings up from the country.
Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Ta-ra. Oh, I better write that down before I forget. Phone message. They've got Sir Gregory help now. Lemon Tree Cottage, Bluebell Wood, Hants. It's nothing but blooming work these days. I think I'll go and powder my nose.
More threats from those Crumford people in today's paper, I see.
Yes, apparently they marched to their local post office and defaced a ministry poster.
Oh, is nothing sacred? What did it say exactly?
Keep your premium bonds in a safe place. Yes, they added a suggestion that was both unpleasant and impracticable. Oh, hello. No one in the office?
I expect Mildred's gone to the canteen. Those protest people will stop at nothing.
Odd that Sir Gregory has gone down there again.
I saw a film on telly last Sunday where this crowd of villagers lynched a top executive. Oh, it was horrible. Blood all over the place.
Ah, but that was a children's program. Couldn't happen in real life. Could it?
Well, look at this note on Mildred's desk.
What is it? Let's have a look. Phone message. They've got Sir Gregory. Help now. Lemon Tree Cottage, Bluebell Wood, Hants. Good grief, it can happen.
They said people at the top would suffer.
And they really meant it. They've kidnapped Sir Gregory. they're holding him in this hideaway. He could be in terrible danger.
Yes, I suppose he could.
Sue, how can you smile like that? I know he bullies us sometimes, but Sir Gregory is a human being. Well, almost. I mean, we must get help at once.
You're right, one. Besides, there could be a reward.
Now then, I'll ring the army, you ring the police.
Yes.
We'll need helicopters, paratroops.
We'd better have ambulances standing by.
Good idea, yes.
And I suggest the army should bring some of those big armoured vehicles.
Thanks.
Don't mention it.
And I tell you what, we'll need a map to find exactly where this lemon tree cottage is.
Yes.
Now, we must wait till dark and then surround the place.
Won't Sir Gregory be grateful?
I won't, he will indeed. He must be desperate by now.
Now then, Daphne, there's no need to sulk just because the home help hasn't turned up.
You lured me here so I could do all your cooking and cleaning.
Daphne, my dearest, I promise that is not why I lured you, brought you here.
You've been very wicked.
Not yet, my puppet. Now, look, why don't we just relax on this sheepskin rug by the fire and enjoy this bottle of brandy?
All right. Only next time you kiss me, remember to take that cigar out of your mouth.
Ah, that's better, my angel. No need to fuss over silly little trifles.
No.
Here we are, alone again at last. You'd think we were the only people in the whole wide world, wouldn't you?
Bunny! What's that?
Great heavens, it sounds like a helicopter.
What's going on? Let's peep out of the window.
Good grief. The cottage is surrounded by soldiers. And they've got searchlights.
Do you think your wife has come to look for you?
No, surely not. There's someone out there with a loud hailer.
All right, the game's up. Don't touch your victim or you'll face the consequences. So drop everything.
I can't believe it. I know that voice.
Oh, is that nice, Mr. Lennox Brown and Mr. Lamb?
They've gone mad. I knew they'd snap in the end. Just let me get my hands on them. This time they've gone too far.
Now, keep calm, Sir Gregory. We can explain.
It is too late for explanations, Lennox Brown. This is the day of reckoning. Last night was the most embarrassing experience of my life.
It was unfortunate, I agree.
Unfortunate? It was a nightmare. Of all the crass ineptitude, of all the sheer willful stupidity,
Please, Sir Gregory, you mustn't blame yourself.
What?
It was our fault, Sir Gregory, but we meant well.
We merely misinterpreted the note on Mildred's desk there.
Merely misinterpreted?
Yes, sir.
Oh, when I think of those paratroopers coming down the chimney...
The army behaved very efficiently, sir. I'm sure you'll agree.
They behaved disgracefully, Lennox Brown. They hustled Miss Bedwater out of the cottage before she had time to put on her clothes. Ooh. And a dozen policemen questioned her for 8 hours in the bushes.
They only wanted to grasp the bare essentials, Sir Gregory.
No, be quiet, Lamb. It was bad enough with Miss Bedwater, but they did the same to me. I had no idea Holly could be so painful.
We can only apologize, Sir Gregory.
Apologize, Lennox Brown? You think that's enough? I'm going to have you both deported and drummed out of the civil service first.
No, Sir Gregory, please don't throw that typewriter. Look, we'll settle for deportment.
I'll pack my things now. We can leave quietly.
You can have our potted plants on.
Yeah, you know what you can do with your potted plants.
The cactus, Sir Gregory?
Especially the cactus. Now go, get out.
Very well, sir. Before we go, Sir Gregory, perhaps we should phone Lady Pitkin.
Right? Phone my wife? Why?
Well, I mean, so you've had a nasty shock. I mean, we ought to tell her exactly what happened last night so she can, so take care of you.
Yeah, no. Put that phone down, Lennox Brown. Mr. Lennox Brown.
Thank you.
No need to phone Lady Pitkin. No need at all. It might upset her.
Are you sure, sir?
Oh, yes. It's past now. No sense in raking it up. Forget all we said. We don't want Lady Pitkin worried about this affair. Business, do we?
Oh, well, if you say so, sir.
I'm prepared to overlook your Little error in calling out the army.
Yes.
And the police and the ambulances.
And the police and ambulances, Mr. Lamb.
Very kind of you, Sir Gregory.
Right. With that behind us, I want you to get on with this road link project. We've lost a week already. And the Ministry of Transport have made it top priority. They want it finished in 4 months.
But what about the local protest group? Did you speak to them?
There was no difficulty there. I sorted them out in 5 minutes.
What, even that dreadful old ferryman?
Yes, of course. I soon talked him round.
With your usual crisp diplomacy, huh?
No, with some crisp £5 notes. Compensation. All the locals are perfectly happy now, and the road link must start at once.
Lovely cup of chai. Your 11s, sir.
Thank you, Mildred. And I think we deserve an extra donut this morning.
I hear there'll be big celebrations for the opening of the Crumford Road link.
Yes, indeed. The PM's performing the ceremony next month.
Sir Gregory will be cruising up and down in his new yacht, dressed overall.
That'll make a change.
And there'll be foreign VIPs.
All thanks to us. We've organised the whole thing from London.
They gave us 4 months. And I gather the workmen are well up to schedule.
Well, who says the age of miracles is past? And you say there'll be lots of foreign VIPs there?
That's right. Our design may be used for the Channel Road link. So lots of continental engineers are coming to inspect the tunnel.
Yes, top technicians from all... Do you say tunnel, too?
Yes, the tunnel under the River Crum.
No, too. You mean the bridge. I mean, the road link is a bridge.
No, one, it's a tunnel. I approved the plans 3 months ago, the day Sir Gregory threatened to support us. They've been tunnelling from the West Bank.
But I ordered a bridge 3 months ago. From the East Bank. They're already halfway across.
Do you think there's been a mistake?
Not a mistake, a disaster.
Oh, you idiot, too.
Why is it always my fault?
There's only limited finance. They can't build a bridge and a tunnel, and there's only a month to go.
Oh, dear.
It's no use nagging to. We've got to do something. Mildred, get the chief engineer on the phone.
And here is the news read by John Curl. The Prime Minister today opened the new road link at Crumford, an unusual structure in that half the river is spanned by a bridge and the other half crossed by a tunnel. Two are joined in the middle by an escalator for pedestrians and a ramp for vehicles. In his speech, the Prime Minister called this a triumph of British engineering and said he'd never seen anything like it. It was, he said, Britain's first marine spaghetti junction. He anticipated healthy revenue from the adverts by the escalator. The bold new design has been much admired by foreign engineers, and a team of Soviet scientists claim that the half-bridge, half-tunnel was a Russian invention. It was a well-known fact, they said, that the British never did things by halves.
It's worked. We got away with it.
I've just been handed a news flash.
Whoopee, everything's going to be all right.
We've just heard that the new structure at Crumford has collapsed. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but a passing motor cruiser was severely damaged and sank at once. The owner of the vessel, Sir Gregory Pitkin, climbed safely from the water, but was then pushed in again by his secretary.
Switch it off, too.
It hasn't worked, has it?
Get your things packed before Sir Gregory gets back.
All right.
Come on. Come on. Hurry up.
Providing the missing link as the men from the ministry were Richard Murdoch and Deryck Guyler. Also featured were Norma, Ronald Baddiley, John Graham and Hilary Pritchard. The programme was written by Edward Taylor and John Graham and produced by Edward Taylor. Time to meet the men from the ministry. for another spin in government circles with Norma Ronald, Ronald Baddiley, Patricia Hayes, John Graham, and the men from the Ministry, Richard Murdoch and Deryck Guyler. In the General Assistance Department, top executives grapple with a wide range of government problems, and they look to their junior staff for keenness and reliability, for that quiet, steady efficiency that keeps the machine running smoothly. Well, that's what they look for. But what do they get?
I worried about Mildred's typing, too. Look at this NATO conference report. Can you remember what you dictated?
It began something like, the delegates got through a large number of points and discussed great battles of the past.
Exactly. And look what Mildred sent out. The delegates got through a large number of pints and discussed great bottles of the past.
Yeah. And the covering letter's not much better. It begins, Deaf Sir.
Yes, well, she'll have to send out a new one with a letter of apology. Yeah, have a word with her, too.
Right, Van. Oh, Mildred.
Yes, sir?
We're rather unhappy about this NATO report. I'm afraid we'll have to ask you to do it again.
Well, I can't do it now, Mr. Lamb. I'm copying this magazine article.
What article is that?
It's all about having a baby.
Having a baby?
Yes, sir. They're those funny little pink things that are noisy at one end and unreliable at the other.
I didn't know. I mean, you'd better sit down, Mildred, and put your feet up. Oh, you are.
It's not me that's having the baby, Mr. Lamb. It's my sister.
Oh, I see.
And there's some very good advice on childbirth in this month's Modern Myth.
Modern Myth?
Yeah, but I only borrowed it, see, and I got to give it back. So I'm typing a copy of the article. It's full of useful hints for mothers-to-be.
May I see? Oh, yes. Catchy title, From Here to Maternity.
What on earth's going on, too? Did you show Mildred that report?
Yes, but she's doing an article for her sister who's having a baby, but she's got to give it back.
Yes, well, just as I thought. And another thing. Yes, my office is a shambles. Nothing in the right place, papers everywhere, corners not dusted. What on earth does that cleaning woman do with her time?
Well, she has to do this whole corridor, sir, including that big office of Mr. Crawley's.
I thought old Creepy Crawley did his own cleaning. He's so neurotic I saw him once dusting his sandwiches.
Shall I leave a note, sir, asking Mrs. Bunting to give your office an extra special clean?
Thank you, Mildred, but that won't be necessary. I intend to have a word with her myself. I'll put her in her place.
Yes, Van.
There's too much mollycoddling of staff these days.
Yes, Van.
I believe in a firm line.
Yes, Van.
Jack's as good as his master cuts no ice with me, you know.
No, Van.
I've a good mind to stay late this very day and have it out with her.
Oh, hello, Mr. Crawley.
Evening, Mrs. Bunting. You're in early.
Yes, well, there's one of my clients I want to have a word with.
Oh, not me, I hope. I always try to leave my what's-his-name as I'd wish to find it.
No, not you, Mr. Crawley. It's that Lummox Brown I'm after. He's a right tearaway.
Is he?
Keeps his office in a shocking state. Golf clubs all over the floor, Wellington boots in his in tray, toast in his out tray. Yes, and usually with the jammy side down.
And you to clear it all up?
Yes, but not anymore. I'm going to have it out with him, man to man.
Mrs. Bunting, you're early today.
Oh, yes, Mr. Lamb, I want a word with your colleague.
Ah, Mr. Bunting, I want a word with you, as a matter of fact. Now, you've been our charwoman for several weeks.
Don't you give me that! I am not a perishing charwoman. Hygiene operative, that is what I am. I'm here to complain about your office. It's a blooming shambles.
Oh, beg your pardon?
Granted as soon as asked. But that don't alter the facts. The way you leave your room is a living scandal.
But Mrs. Bunting...
Get rid of them pork pies off the radiator. No, don't eat them. They've gone off. You will end up with pantomime poisoning.
Well, I'm glad we had this chat. I have to go now. Official government business, you say.
Government business. Don't make me laugh. I know where you're off to.
Huh?
You'll be sneaking into that strip club again.
How dare you?
No, you needn't try to deny it. Mrs. Clegg saw you going into the Soho Peeperama yesterday afternoon.
Oh, well, that was for a government survey.
Oh, yes?
The Arts Council, you know.
Oh,
yes. Well, I had to check on the bare facts.
I'm sure.
Well, good day to you, madam.
Loudmouth brute. bullying a poor defenceless woman.
Oh, never mind him, Mrs. Bunting. He's not so bad, really.
No, he's just at a difficult age.
Here, I've typed them costings for you, sir. They're ready to be signed.
Ah, good, yes. Sir Gregory gets rather keyed up, you know, about this Ministry of Defence stuff. He was awfully upset when we mislaid that aircraft carrier.
Now then, Lennox Brown.
Oh, Sir Gregory, what a delightful surprise. I hope you're keeping well, sir, and how is your good lady?
Shut up, Lennox Brown.
Is she really? Yes, well, Francis.
Oh, be quiet, man. And where's Lamb?
Lamb? Ah, yeah, he's up on the ministry roof, sir.
He's up on the ministry roof.
Yes.
Well, I always try to seek after knowledge, so perhaps you'll tell me why he's up on the roof.
He's gone to collect his socks, sir. Yes. He washes them in the men's room, you know, and hangs them to dry on the roof.
I don't want to know anymore. Forget that I asked, would you?
Oh, as you wish, sir.
Now then, Lennox Brown, I've brought you another job for the Ministry of Defence.
Oh.
A very important one.
Yes, sir.
And extremely hush. You'd better leave us, Miss Muffin. Oh, she has.
Yes. She has this long-standing trouble, you see. Yes, she doesn't like standing too long.
Now, this file gives details of Friday's big NATO exercise.
Yes.
It's all here, food, clothing, transport, and equipment. And you are to check the costings.
Yes.
Then get it to NATO by tomorrow.
It shall be done, sir. Yes.
And make sure all documents retain a red star at the top. That means top secret.
Red star. Yes, sir. Yes.
Will Lamb be helping you on this?
Oh, I doubt it. No, I'm not expecting him back till late afternoon. His socks usually blow away, you see, and it takes him some time to retrieve them. They fall from a great height, you understand.
No, Lennox Brown. I do not understand. I really don't.
Oh, hello, Mr. Lamb. Haven't you gone yet?
No, I don't think I have, Miss Crawley. In fact, I'm sure I haven't. I'm just nipping back for my umbrella. I've been collecting my socks, you see, up on the roof.
Oh, you want to be careful up there, you know. One slip and you'd break your what's-his-name.
Oh, I'm very sure-footed.
Cheerio. See you in the morning.
Good night, Mr. Crawley. Hello, Mrs. Bunting.
Oh, Mr. Lamb, still here, eh?
Yeah.
Well, that is devotion to duty and no mistake. The rest of them sneaked off hours ago, but they're not as dedicated as what you are.
Oh. Thank you, Mrs. Bunting.
You have got tremendous attributes. Yes, and you don't want to hide them. I've got a young nephew, you know, Cedric his name is. And I always like to think he'll grow up like you. An executive of the jet age.
Thank you very much.
Well, he's very clever, is young Cedric. But then I suppose you were too.
Well, my headmaster said they couldn't teach me anything.
And I believe it. He loves drawing, Cedric does. Oh, yes, scribble all day he will.
Yes.
And he's good with his hands. Oh, look at this clutter on Mr. Lummox Brown's desk. I could be here all night at this rate.
Oh, let me give you a hand, Mrs. Bunting.
Oh, would you?
Sure.
Oh, you are kind, Mr. Lamb. You see, I don't know what is important and what is supercilious.
Yeah, well, all these papers can be thrown away. Or perhaps they'd be useful for Cedric to draw on. They're only written on one side.
Yes, oh, that's a good idea. Yes, he could scribble on the back, couldn't he? Well, thank you. I'll take them home with me.
And look, they've got little red stars at the top. You could peel those off and stick them on his wall.
Oh, he'll like that. Yes, it's things like this that show what sort of a man you are, Mr. Lamb.
Think nothing of it, Mrs. Bunting. I'll keep an eye open for any more waste paper. We get quite a lot in this office.
Lovely day for the NATO exercise, too. You sent off that stuff I costed?
Yes, I saw the folder on Mildred's desk and dispatched it by special messenger.
Good. Well, I'm taking the afternoon off. There's a meeting of the parish council tonight, and I want to think out my tactics.
That council takes up a lot of your time.
Oh, well, there's a great deal to be done, you see. The whole church hall needs renovating.
Really?
Yes, they're dithering over a new septic tank, and I'm hoping to push them into it.
I suppose the money is a problem, as always?
Yes, indeed, but we're busy trying to raise some, you know. Oh, yes, jumble sales, whist drives, and so on. We're having a public meeting at which I'll appeal for funds.
Would that be rather embarrassing?
Not at all. I shall fix the audience with a firm but kindly look and say...
Oh, blimey, somebody's pinched me article.
What? What article?
That baby baby care article I typed for my sister. It was in a blue folder on my desk, and now it's disappeared.
In a blue folder? But I sent that to NATO headquarters. I thought it was the plans for today.
You what?
Yes, true. They were expecting orders for an exercise. Oh. And you sent them instructions on baby care?
And here is the news read by John Curl. Today's big NATO exercise took place as planned, but there were several unusual features. In this morning's mock battle on Salisbury Plain, a force of Marines in pushchairs clashed with a battalion of soldiers in prams. The Prime Minister, who was guest of honour, was presented with a white china bowl. He seemed puzzled and was heard to remark that he thought it was a little potty.
You stupid, incompetent fools! You half-witted, half-baked nincompoops! You blundering idiots!
Don't try to spare our feelings, Sir Gregory.
You brainless lunatics! Commando units in paper nappies! It's like a nightmare!
Oh, no, sir, it really happened.
Oh! Be quiet, Lamb, or I'll throttle you. By thunder, I'd have set you both on the spot, but for one thing.
We're established staff.
That wouldn't save you this time, Lamb. I could get you for high treason. No, there's a puzzling aspect to this disaster, and you'll have to help to clear it up.
Well, we're always ready to assist, sir. Just tell us what to do.
Don't tempt me, Lennox Barn. No, the problem is this. According to past idiocies, when you mixed up papers in your care, Miss Murphy's sister should now be dressing her baby in khaki battle dress and feeding it hand grenades. But no, the NATO file has simply disappeared.
Oh, yes, so it has.
Other papers are missing as well. In short, we seem to have a security leak.
Perhaps we should call the police.
The police, Lamb, don't make me laugh. This isn't a matter for plot-hopping bobbies. It must be handled with extreme delicacy. I've alerted MI5, and they're sending their top detective, Commander Strange, a man of such polish and subtlety, you won't even know he's an investigator.
Excuse me, sir. There's a man outside with big boots carrying a pair of handcuffs.
Show him in, Miss Murphy.
Will you come this way, please?
Hello. What have we here? I'm Strange.
He does look a little peculiar.
Come in, Strange. I'm Sir Gregory Pitkin, M.B. This is Mr. Lennox Brown, Mr. Lamb.
Evening all. Commander Strange at your service.
As you know, Commander, several top-secret documents have recently vanished. No doubt you'll wish to question these gentlemen.
Quite so, sir. I'll start with Mr. Lamb. Your name, please, Mr. Lamb?
Mr. Lamb.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Have you noticed anything unusual lately?
Well, it's funny you should ask, because Tuesday was the most peculiar day. I cycled to the office, but then I had to go back home.
Why was that, sir?
I'd forgotten my bicycle.
I understand, sir. But it's your work that mainly concerns us. Was there anything odd during office hours?
No, I played dominoes all morning and slept in the afternoon. Everything was perfectly normal.
Well, that all sounds reasonable enough, sir. You can go for the moment, but don't leave the country without letting us know.
Oh, I won't, Commander. I'll just go and have a word with Mildred.
Now, you, Mr. Lennox Brown.
Commander, before you pursue that line, I have to leave in a moment. Shouldn't we tighten up our security to prevent any future leakage?
Oh, I already have that in hand, sir. The ministry keys will no longer be left beneath the doormat.
Good thinking, Commander.
Thank you, sir. In future, the keys will hang on a string in the letterbox. Furthermore, all staff will be issued with identity cards, which must be shown on entering the building.
Splendid. Above all, we must get security conscious. Hey, look at your desk, Lennox Brown. That red folder, isn't that the design for the new Army helicopter?
Yes, that's right, sir. Yes, you'll recall they have teething trouble, sir. The rotor blades stay still, and the plane keeps spinning round.
Nevertheless, it's highly confidential. Get it out of sight, man.
Very well, sir. I'll put it in here. No one ever touches my drawers.
Hello, Mrs. Bunting. You're early again.
Yes, I wanted a word with that nice Mr. Lamb. He's one of the best, you know. A man of real extinction.
Well, he hasn't been in all day. We can't understand it.
That's funny. He's got his identity card, has he, with his picture on it?
Yeah, he showed it to me. He wouldn't have the standard ministry photo. He used a more glamorous one he had taken on his 21st birthday.
Oh. That Mr. Lummox Brown went off at 4, I suppose.
That's right. He was wanted for the parish jumble sale.
They won't get much of a price for him.
Don't be like that, love. He's working hard for a good cause. Well, I'm off home myself now. I'll see you tomorrow. Ta-ra.
Good night, dear. And I can day with the world.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Bunting.
Oh, my word, Mr. Lamb, you look all in.
Oh, I've had an awful day. The hall porter wouldn't let me into the building. He said I wasn't like the picture on my staff card.
Blooming cheese.
Yes, I thought so. He's known me for 25 years.
Why have we got these staff cards anyway? That porter made a fuss about letting me in. He wanted to cuddle first, the dirty old devil.
Did you give him one?
Yes, right on the nose with me handbag. But why are we having these obscurity precautions?
Well, some secret documents have disappeared.
No.
Yes, the authorities think someone here may be selling them to the enemy.
Lummox Brown.
What?
I reckon he's one of them.
Oh, surely not.
And now I must get on or I'll never finish. Oh, look at the state of Mr. Lummox Brown's drawers. You can't even shut them for stuff bulging out.
I dare say a lot of that can be thrown away or given to Cedric. Let's see. It's this red folder that's jamming it.
Yes.
It's only full of old papers. Cedric could draw on those and use the folder for his school book.
Your security plans aren't working, Commander. We've lost another vital file, the design for the new British helicopter.
So I understand, sir. However, I'm now convinced it's an inside job, and I have a suspect.
A suspect?
There's one man in this department whose behaviour is highly dubious. I'm referring to Lennox Brown.
Lennox Brown?
That's right, sir. I've summoned him here to answer some questions. It may be him now. Come in.
Oh. Hello, Sir Gregory. You wanted a word with me, Commander?
Yes, take a seat, sir.
Thanks.
It has come to my attention that you are frequently absent from your office on, private business.
Somebody's been talking, have they?
They have, sir, and we believe you are working for a certain organisation.
Oh, well, I suppose I'd better admit it. Yes, I am.
So it's true, Lennox Brown. You're giving them what they want.
Well, I'm trying my best to do so, yes.
You villain.
I dare say there were women involved.
Well, naturally, it was the vicar's wife who got me into this.
The vicar's wife?
We have it frequently on the vicarage lawn. The first time, I wasn't much involved, you see, but I enjoyed it so much I felt I ought to help. I've taken them down a lot of useful stuff.
Yes, I suspected. And no doubt you made a bit of money.
Oh, by Jove, yes. This year we made £35, and that didn't include the teas or the hoopla.
The what?
Oh, that was just the jumble sale, you see. And next year we hope to do even better. I've promised to take down my corduroy trousers.
Oh, be quiet, Lennox Brown. False alarm, Commander. This idiot isn't a spy. He's been messing about with some jumble sale nonsense.
What?
Oh, now listen, both of you. This loss of material has got to be stopped, and I'm the man to stop it. Henceforth, I shall be in charge of security here, and all secret papers will be kept in the strong room.
Strong room? I didn't know we had one.
It's in the basement, and it hasn't been used for years, but the walls and door are solid steel, 3 foot thick.
What about the key, Sir Gregory? It's not like the ministry's safes, I take it. It does have a key.
It has one key only, which will be kept in my desk. Authorized persons may use it, but they'll have to sign this book every time.
Could you hurry and open this door, Mr. Lamb? These files are blooming heavy.
I'd like to have carried them for you, Mildred, but I have this key in my hand. Now, you just give it a double turn like that.
It's like something out of James Bond.
It's the toughest strong room in Whitehall. Just bring the files inside and I'll put them on the shelf. I'd better shut the doors. No one can slip in behind us.
Clever of you to think of that, Mr. Lamb. But how do we get out again?
How do we get... Oh, silly me. I've left the key outside.
We're locked in, aren't we? We're trapped.
Yes, I suppose we are. But don't panic, Mildred. Sir Gregory will wonder why we haven't returned the key, and he'll send someone down to look for us. We'll be all right, don't you worry.
I don't like it, Mr. Lamb. It's about time somebody came. We've been here 20 minutes.
Oh, it's all right, Mildred. Help is at hand.
Well, well, well. I always thought you should be locked up, too. Seems at last you agree.
I can't think how it happened.
Well, I'd have thought it was fairly obvious. You left the key in the lock outside and closed the door behind you, like this. Sort of daft thing you would do, you know.
But Mr. Lennox Brown, you've just been and gone and done the same thing.
You don't stop to wonder what? Oh, good grief.
How could you, sir? You've trapped all three of us now.
Oh, now, steady, Mildred, steady. Mistakes will happen, you know. But Sir Gregory's still in his office. He'll be down to release us in no time. It's your fault, too, you know. What? Getting me all confused like that.
He isn't going to come, is he? He's gone off home without noticing.
Oh, nonsense, too. I've only been gone half an hour. Sir Gregory won't leave without checking the keys back.
But if he doesn't come soon, we'll be stifled. I'm feeling very odd.
Let's face it, you are very odd.
No.
Pull yourself together, for heaven's sake.
I think he's beginning to fail, sir. He's had no tea for over an hour.
No.
We'll have no more of that sort of talk, Mildred. We must just keep our spirit up. I know. We'll have a sing-song.
A sing-song?
Well, that's what they did in London during the Blitz. Now, come along with me. We're going to hang out the washing on the Siegfried line. Have you noticed washing, Mother dear? We're going to hang out the washing.
What the devil's going on in here?
Sir Gregory, we are pleased to see you, sir. I hope you're keeping well. How is your good lady?
Oh, you scatterbrained nitwits. Locked yourselves in, eh?
Well,
I was showing Mildred how to do it, you see, but I pulled it too hard and it banged and I couldn't get at it, so we waited for Mr. Lennox Brown to do it, but when he'd done it, he did it again.
It's not quite as simple as that, Sir Gregory.
Oh, be quiet, both of you. It's perfectly plain what happened. In future, make sure you bring the key in with you. As I have done, you see. Then if the door does happen to close, like so, you're perfectly all right.
No, sir.
Yeah, what's that, Miss Muffin?
There's no keyhole on the inside. You trapped us again.
What? You incompetent buffoons! How dare you get me into this? I'll murder the lot of you!
Sir Gregory, please, no. Perhaps Commander Strange will come down.
No, Stranger's left. Everybody's left. It's Friday afternoon. They've all gone early.
Friday afternoon? Good grief. We're trapped till Monday.
Oh. But there's not enough air to last that long.
All right.
Run, rabbit, run. Don't give the farmer his fun. He'll get by without his rabbit.
Oh, shut up, all of you! Shut up, do you hear? Don't you realize that singing uses up oxygen? Be quiet, damn you! Lamb, you're a junior executive. You'd better stop breathing altogether.
But Sir Gregory...
Don't argue, man. That's an order. How long have we been here, Miss Murphy?
2 hours, sir.
Oh, it seems like 2 days. And another 60 to go. We're never going to make it. You realize that, don't you? We're doomed, all of us.
Oh, now come, Sir Gregory.
Don't try and pretend. This is the end, can't you see that? We're all going to suffocate.
Oh, there, Sir Gregory.
Take your hands off me, woman. Well, it doesn't matter to you three. You'd never have amounted to much, but I was heading for the top. The MP, Minister, even the big one. And now it's all done. All my hopes, all my dreams finished.
He's lying on his back with his mouth open. That's a bad sign, isn't it?
Perhaps you should give him the kiss of life one.
No, thank you. I might fall in. Tell you what, let's have another song.
I'm going, I tell you, to that great ministry in the sky. It's over now. This is the end for all of us.
Evening, old.
Good evening, Mrs. Bunting. To think it should finish like this. Mrs. Bunting? What the devil are you doing here?
How did you get in?
How did I get in? Well, through this back door, of course. It's never locked, and I'll keep me bucket and brush in here, don't
Oh, brace up, too. Sir Gregory's back today.
Is he? Well, why didn't we get 3 weeks sick leave, too?
Well, we weren't so badly affected, were we? The doctor said Sir Gregory was in deep shock, due partly to the confined space, and partly to staying at the office after 4 on a Friday.
There you are. I just dropped in to tell you that I've fully recovered from that ordeal.
We have some good news for you, sir. While you were away, Commander Strange solved the mystery of the missing papers.
Did he, Bishop?
Yes.
I knew he had a good brain. Well, what's the answer?
Well, the fact is, sir, my colleague, Mr. Lamb, gave them, quite unwittingly, to our charlady.
What? To the charlady? Why?
For her nephew to draw on, you see. He's very clever, and please don't hit Mr. Gregory. You'll break your umbrella.
I'll get him by another one, you unspeakable imbecile.
Please, Mr. Gregory, please, one moment. It's all turned out for the best.
For the best? Well, what do you mean? How could it?
Well, the nephew's a very bright lad, sir. He used that last lot of plans.
Use them?
He built the helicopter in his back garden.
He built it?
He not only built it, Sir Gregory, it's better than the Army's original. He ironed out their teething troubles and made it faster and lighter.
Good Lord. And did he find out why the plane turned and the blades didn't?
Yes, sir. You'll never believe it.
Well, try me, lad.
Well, you see, the whole thing was upside down.
Yes. Upside down?
Muddling through as the men from the Ministry were Richard Murdoch and Deryck Guyler. Also featured were Norma Ronald Baddiley, John Graham, and Patricia Hayes as Mrs. Bunting. The programme was written by Edward Taylor and John Graham and produced by Edward Taylor.